Hello, this is J.P. Hrisoulas, the Cranky Old Bastard. I got a few emails lately about folks wanting to know what materials you can recycle or repurpose for the purpose of blade making. Well, bladesmithing has had a long association with recycling and repurposing materials, whether it's an old file, old leaf spring, coil spring, saw blade, whatever. It seems like no matter what it is, somebody's trying to make a knife out of it. This is all fine and good, but the one big problem with using recycled materials is you really don't know what it is unless you actually know what it is. I know that sounds kind of odd, but there are certain alloys that have been traditionally used to make certain things, and the most common one to be used is an old file. The old Nicholson files, especially the ones that said black diamond, those were 1095 steel. It was a proprietary melt, but it was basically 1095, which is an excellent high carbon steel. The other Nicholson files were either W2 or W1 or rarely WHC. All four of those steels make excellent knives when properly heat treated and tempered. Another good source of repurposed material is leaf springs. These come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Mostly they're long rectangles. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're thin, sometimes they're flat, sometimes they're curved, sometimes they're thin, narrow, sometimes they're wide. They're basically 5160, which is a low chrome alloy steel, which has 60 points of carbon. Makes an excellent sword when properly heat treated and properly tempered. Coil springs, those are usually 9260. Sometimes they're 6150, depending on the maker. Wire rope, I'll go into more on that. That's usually plowshare steel, which is equivalent to about 60 points of 1060. Other than that, there's numerous other materials you can use. What to stay away from is anything you do not know. If you come across anything that has any sort of plating on it, forget it. This also goes for galvanization. If it's galvanized, don't mess with it. Even if you can remove the galvanizing, it's probably not carbon steel. The easiest way to tell if something is hardenable is to take give it a spark test. If the sparks for high carbon, chances are it's high carbon steel. If you don't know what a spark test is, this is covered in my first book, The Complete Bladesmith. Once you see it done a couple times, you can read the sparks. Another way to tell is take a small piece, bend it into a semicircular shape, get it hot, throw it in some oil, and when it's cool, put it on an anvil, cover a towel, smack it, and if it breaks, and you get the proper grain structure, it is hardened. As far as working it, that is going to be hit or miss unless you know what it is. Now, I use a lot of 15N20, which is sourced from bandsaw blades from a sawmill up in Oregon. I know these are 15N20 because I personally know the owner of the mill. He sends me cut off sections, and I send him a knife every now and then. I use that for my pattern welding, but then again, I know what these are. A good source for 5160 is custom automotive and truck spring makers. You can find these listed under springs or automotive repairs, customizations. Ask, see if they'll sell you a few 100 pounds of their spring knockoffs. Sometimes they even have brand new springs they take off of trucks or cars and recycle those, and you get those for very reasonable prices. But the good thing about using new material is you don't have to worry about micro cracks, which is a serious concern on anything that is recycled. Other than that, you can use whatever you want to. Like I said, the older files are great. The new files, not so much, because most of them are mild steel that have been really thickly case hardened. And once you get through the casing, it's soft. So, well, that's the way it goes for this evening. I hope I answered a few questions. And please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for your time and effort. May the good Lord keep you, bless you, and thank you, and good night.